y'all? It's your girl Trae, and I'm back. To my new followers, welcome. To my old followers, welcome back. I got my homie Corey Paul here with me, and we're talking about occupational wellness. And we are at the Golden Cow Creamery in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Have you ever been before?
No.
No? Awesome. Well, a little bit about the menu up there. The whiteboards, those are our staples, so they always stay here. And then the black ones, those are the rotating flavors, means they can change out once in a while. We're homemade ice cream, which means we don't believe in any kind of artificial flavor or food coloring. So if you want to try anything, you have any questions, just let me know, alright?
Okay, cool. Thank you. Hey y'all, so I decided to bring Corey Paul with me today to the Golden Cow because I wanted to talk about occupational wellness and how hard it is sometimes to step out on your own and become an entrepreneur, and the discipline that you need to have. And I want to break some of the stereotypes about entrepreneurship, especially in the African American community. So what better person to use than to use him? I mean, he's super successful. He's a hairstylist. He's my hairstylist. But anyway, so Corey, thank you for coming. So I'm going to ask some questions, and feel free to ask me questions. And if I don't know the answer, I'll get back to you and we'll talk about it later.
Okay.
Probably in a chair, right?
Right.
Okay, so speaking of being in a chair, hairstylists are like one of the first psychotherapists. So how do you feel being like a therapist without the license? Because I'm sure you have to help your clients talk through their problems.
Well, I mean, for me, it's just kind of basing my life experiences and kind of comparing them to theirs. And sometimes for me, a lot of stuff is spiritual for me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to tell anybody anything I don't know to misguide them or mislead them. But, you know, it's just more so for me coming from a spiritual place and past experience.
Okay. So for those clients that you may have who aren't as spiritual as you, how do you kind of guide those conversations?
So that's where my my past experiences come in. So
Okay.
I have actually had a young lady, she was like not into church at all. She was like, look, I don't want to hear about it, blah, blah, blah. And so, you know, just kind of telling her how I cope with things, how I got through things. It helped her get through her situation, and then she actually started going to church, and now she developed a relationship. And so, I mean, she's able to cope through situations now.
Cool. Cool. So you've been kind of, you know, being a therapist, you done been, you done work for the Lord.
Yeah.
Working for the Lord and you're healing heads, right? Oh, okay. So let's talk about stereotypes for entrepreneurs, especially in the Black community. Everybody says, I like to support Black people. They don't do you right. They don't treat you right. What do you say about that, and how have you been able to prevent that stereotype from being attached to Corey Paul's hair studio?
So my key word that I love is consistency. You know what I'm saying? Just staying consistent across the board, whether it's white customer, Black, Asian, Hispanic, just staying consistent across the board. You know, everybody wants to be treated the same. So not treating Black people different, white people different, it doesn't matter. Like, people are people. So staying consistent with the way I treat people. Also upholding, you know, our business standards, like not wavering from that. So doing things like that.
So when you say business standards, for those who are out there who are trying to open their own business, what are some standards, like some basic standards that you feel like has helped your business stay afloat?
Being on time. I mean, just...
Y'all are professional. Y'all always dress up. Like, you dress up during the week, right? And you dress down on the weekend?
You definitely want to have a professional image.
Okay.
But something that really stands out to me when you say upholding that is just like being clear on your vision. You know what I'm saying? So not wavering, like, from that period. So if your vision is I want to be the top salon, or I want, my stylist to dress like this, or, however you're going to run your business, like making sure your vision is clear. So, me and you talked about that. So you have to make sure that's the number one thing.
Okay.
Make sure that vision is clear first.
Okay. I'm glad you said something about vision, because I was, looking out through your Instagram.
Okay.
And you made a post
Oh, Lord.
in 2014, and it talks about vision.
Okay.
Do you know what you posted?
No.
Can you
like-
got an idea? Like, oh Lord, it
Yes,
wasn't
I'm like, let
anything
me look and
bad.
see.
It wasn't anything bad, right? Instincts allow your internal vision to become an external reality. Do you think that's where you are now?
I do, and that's crazy that was back in 2014.
August the 20th. So like
Wow.
right around your birthday time, right? Right before your birthday time.
And the crazy thing is too, I also opened up the salon that you come to now. I opened that up around that time, not 2014, but around the end of August. So that's crazy. But wow, yeah.
So vision is a big thing for you.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I feel like sometimes it's hard to see the vision when, one, so many people are doing it too, or two, when you don't know what it's going to take to get you there.
Right.
So sometimes I feel like, this whole opening a private practice thing is a good thing, and then it's like, oh my gosh, well, where do I start? Like, what do I want it to look like? What do I want it to feel like? And it's just so much, it's overwhelming. Like, where do you start with your visions? Like, is it like a dream? Like, how do you start?
So a couple things with that. So my nigga was like, where do you start? What's the first thing you do? My thing is, if God give you the vision, like, he gonna give you the provisions to go along with that. So it's just like what my dad always says, how do you eat an elephant? Just one chunk at a time, one bite at a time. So it's really just kind of narrowing down, like, what it's going to take to get to that end result.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But your vision also may change. It may mature. You know what I'm saying? So when I first started out, I never could have imagined having a 14-chair salon. So I was cool with having 6 chairs. But as my vision began to mature and change, I had to continue to push towards where I wanted to go. So don't feel like you have to be stuck with that one vision. Like, your vision can change, it can grow, but it's just keeping, when I say keeping your vision clear, staying clear on where you're going.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Staying focused on where you're going.
Okay. So kind of having that business plan, knowing when to stay in line with what you planned and not
Right.
going astray,
Right.
doing and carrying on too many things at one time.
Right.
So I'm glad you said that, because I want to know, being in a female dominant profession, right? I mean, because we all know the hairstylists are everywhere, and it's majority women. So how do you maneuver and become so successful in a female dominant profession?
It's just putting out great work.
Okay.
I mean, that's the number one thing. Putting out great work, staying humble, staying professional. But just the main thing is, for me, just kind of perfecting my craft. So I feel like women don't care whether you're a man or a woman. Just as long as you do great hair, they're going to come to whoever, So I feel like
agree.
it's just doing good work.
Well, I agree, but I disagree, because I would prefer a man over a woman to do my hair any day. Because I feel like a man knows what another man would like on a woman, if that makes sense. Like, oh, that hairstyle will look good on her, or oh, I know that she could rock this. Like, it's been several times you like, no, Trae, you should cut your hair like this. I know your husband will like it, and I get home and he like, oh yeah, that's it. So I feel more comfortable with a guy doing my hair, because it's like, he knows what my man is gonna want, so I'm gonna go with him, and I haven't been let down yet.
Okay, so I mean, that's a good point too, but I don't feel like I feel like it's some great women hairstylists too that can do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? A man is gonna give you perspective from a man's, point of view, versus that a woman's just gonna give you from a woman's point of view. So, I guess with the man hairstylist, you get the best of both worlds. But
You do, you really do.
Like I said, I don't know. For me, it's just putting out good work.
But
you're talented. You're talented.
Okay, so the truth lies in numbers, right? When you did a poll a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago, would you prefer a male or female? What did your Instagram followers say?
They liked a man stylist.
Okay.
But I think it was based off past experience, So they was like, well, The women's stylists, they weren't on time. They had a nasty attitude. They cut all my hair off. So I think it was just based off of bad past experiences.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some of the stylists was like, or some of the clients was like, I've been rocking with my stylist for ever. She been slaying since I first got in her chair. So I just feel like if you're putting out that good work and you're professional, they're gonna rock with you.
Okay. I agree. I guess. All right, so everyone wants to be like self-employed nowadays. Everyone wants to be their own boss. I hear that a lot. Like, I just want to be my own boss. Tell me what it took for you to be your own boss. Like, talk about discipline. How disciplined did you have to be?
Had to be very disciplined, but in order to be a great boss, you have to not feel like you have to be out in the forefront all the time. And you also, how can I say this? You have to be a good follower too.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
So you have mentors?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course, you definitely want to make sure you have a good mentor, but you have to learn how to take good advice, constructive criticism. So that was like something that I really had to work on. So
okay.
I was timid when I first started out doing hair. You know what I'm saying? So if I felt like somebody was critiquing my work wrong, or if I felt like they was coming for me, like I didn't take that too good.
Okay.
So I had to mature and say, okay, hey, this person is not trying to down me. They're trying to help me get better. So like I said, being a good follower, and also when it comes to discipline, it's back to get to that vision, standpoint. So it's being disciplined enough to say, hey, this is where I'm trying to go. I can't go and do this. So like when some of my friends was going out of town to turn up, going to Miami or wherever, like, I had to stay and grind it out, so that I could build my following, build my business to where I wanted it to be. And then, now I can go and
you
do
can
all
go and do what you want to do. Okay, so small sacrifices for a lifetime of success.
I like that.
You like that? Yeah. Okay, I agree. So I'm learning.
I'll write that down.
So I'm gonna have to make sure I tag that tonight, so nobody will take it from me. So for myself, I'm learning to be more disciplined, but I think I need a good balance between discipline and overworking, because sometimes I feel like I need to do this, and that, but then I'm drained at the end. So how did you balance discipline with like a little bit of self-care and knowing when to just stop?
So it's not a stop thing, you know what I'm saying? So it's not like you can't say, okay, I'm gonna stop working on the business, right? So because the business got to function while you're not there. So I had to learn how to outsource or give different tasks to different people. You know what I'm saying? So now when I first started out, I was doing hair, checking people out, answering the phone, scheduling appointments, to where now it's like, okay, we have a receptionist to do this. I have an assistant to do this. You know what I'm saying? So you have to learn to outsource different tasks.
Okay.
So I think that's the right word I'm using, outsource.
Outsource,
but you know what I'm talking
whatever.
about.
Like, what is it when you... Whatever.
Yeah.
I know what you meant. Like when you give other people. What's the word? What's the word we're looking for? What's the word? Evan, you know the word? Give us the word. When you delegate. Delegate.
There you go.
Woo! Work through it. Want to do it? All right. Delegate. Woo! All right. So, with that being said, how did you like your ice cream? Tell the people what ice cream flavors you got first.
So I got the pumpkin spice and the maple walnut, which is really, really good. Like, so I'm sitting here trying not to go in on this ice cream, but it's bomb.
So I got the honeycomb. So it's like vanilla ice cream with like real honey, and you can kind of taste the warmness of the honey. And then I got the Dunkaroos. The Dunkaroos is really popular here. It's one of their top sellers. So, of course, I wanted to try it so I can let you guys know how that tastes. Oh, did you hear that, Corey?
What? Come on. What is it?
All right, time for a game. You have 10 seconds, and then you cannot cheat because people are going to see you cheating.
Okay.
You have 10 seconds to answer. How many, or tell me the flavors that are here at Golden Cow. You just read the thing. You just read the menu.
Probably 12.
Give me some flavors. Can you remember?
Pumpkin spice, maple walnut, honeycomb, Dunkaroos, salted Oreo, strawberry, vanilla,
Is it 10 seconds
mocha.
up?
Mexican hot chocolate.
Are you cheating?
No, I'm not cheating. I'm trying to
Wait a
think.
minute now, y'all. Okay, your 10 seconds is up. Okay, we get it. But I feel like you cheated.
I mean, how am I cheating? Like, I can't see the reflection. Like,
I don't know. Okay, well, good job, Corey. I mean, dang. Okay.
how many points did I? How many
You
points
didn't
did
get that many points because I feel like it was a.
No, because
It might have been a setup.
Right.
So tell me what drives you.
What drives me? Definitely my family.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to. I'll say this, in the Black community, I feel like we don't leave a legacy or we don't leave anything for our family. So I want to be the first person in my family to be able to say, hey, I created a legacy. So if my daughter, if my sisters, my nephews, if they want to come and run the business behind me, leaving something that they can, you know, live up to or run or whatever they want to do. So I definitely say my family is my driving force behind it.
Okay, and I want to throw in there that you do a lot for the community, and I enjoy seeing the back to school drive that you do. So you guys, he does like this back to school drive where he gives back to the people in Winston Salem, and they can come and get their hair styled or get haircuts and like book bags, and I think it's super cool, and it'd be packed.
Yes.
So next year. Next August, it's always like the Saturday or Sunday before school starts, right?
The Sunday before school, yeah.
So next year, if you want to give and donate, go by Corey Paul, just drop off a book bag, drop off some school supplies, because he's always doing stuff for the community.
Yeah.
First, we're talking about occupational wellness. So what would be, or what was the first steps you took to start your business?
I would say leaving my comfortable spot, leaving my comfortable zone. So I worked at a chain salon, which was JCPenney's or whatever. So just leaving there, I was comfortable because I got a steady paycheck. I had a pretty good clientele, but just taking a step to say I could do it. You know what I mean? And I say that was the hardest part. You know, just believing in myself that I really could do it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So my dad, he used to rob me all the time, man. Like, as far as when I wanted my salon to look like, he was like, you know, you need to know, you know, how many nails you're gonna need, what type of paper towels you want in there, with the paint color, all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, why do I need to know all this? But when I was ready to open up my first salon, like, I had everything that I needed. You know what I mean? So I was able to actually go and buy everything. I knew how many dryers I needed. I knew how many shampoo bowls I needed, everything. So just believing in me was the hardest in the first step.
Okay.
So.
And they say growth comes when you're uncomfortable.
Of course.
So look at how much you've grown since that moment of like stepping out on faith or taking that leap. So I appreciate that. What type of advice would you give those who want to step out and start their own business, but they're kind of afraid?
Definitely do your research.
Okay.
And just do it. Like, really just do it. It's as simple as that. So, I mean, you know I love T.D. Jakes. So he was talking about this.
You think he's your bishop?
Yes, I do. I attend every Sunday. But, you know, he came out with a book called Soar. And so he was just saying how eagles learn to fly. And so he was like, basically, like, the mom just kind of throws them out the nest, but they're up so high, like, that they just kind of have like that space to fall, but they never hit the ground. Okay. You know what I mean? So it's kind of, you have all that room for growth. So it's just keep growing as you're doing it. You know what I mean? It's not going to be perfect every time. You know, of course, I made my mistakes. I failed at certain things. Certain things didn't work, but it didn't kill me. It didn't knock me out. Okay. So just keep going.
Okay.
Just keep going.
What has become your mantra?
Okay. So I would say it's definitely God's got me. You know, so throughout the whole journey of becoming who I am today, it's been really just a whole faith step for me. You know what I mean? So for me, just graduating high school, I didn't go to college, so I had no business experience. I had no knowledge of how to run a business, period. You know what I'm saying? So to get where I am today, like, he's really connected me with everybody who I needed. You know what I mean? So he's connected me with clients who does human resources. So, you know, they tell me how to handle my employees. connected me with accountants, so I know how to manage my money. Connected me with other successful business owners, so I know how to run my business.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that's really my thing. You know what I'm saying? So even with the expo that I'm doing, so you know, I was kind of having some hiccups with that this morning, and so it was just like, hey, you know, he got this. Like, if he gave me the vision, you know, it's back to he gonna give me the provision. You know what I'm saying? He gonna provide everything that I need, and so I mean, it just works out every time. You know, as long as you have that faith, you just know that he got you hands down.
Okay. So he got you. So if you want to start something, just do it. Like, just start it. Don't be afraid. Y'all, I got Corey Paul with me, my hairstylist.
Yes.
And it was good. How's your ice cream? Your ice cream was good?
My ice cream was
My ice cream was good. I only have literally 1 scoop left. But it was amazing. And if you guys are in the Charlotte area, please come out and try the Golden Cow Creamery.